So I've had a request from somebody to do a labour budget question. The only one I've been able to find so far came from the ACCN4 paper in January 2013. So this is under the old specification. So it's something that hasn't, I don't think, been examined yet under paper 2 of the new spec. So this one, the finance manager of Spirit Boosters decided to introduce a system of budgetary control for labour costs. The labour costs per department, per charm bracelet, this was a company making charm bracelets, were expected to be as follows. So the casting department, the labour requirement was 40 minutes at £12 an hour. The polishing department, 15 minutes at £8 an hour. And the finishing department, 2 hours at £14 an hour. It tells us that the business is open for 50 weeks a year and each employee works for 40 hours a week. The annual production was expected to be 24,000 bracelet charms, and the target profit for the year ended 31st of October 2012 was 150,000, which isn't going to concern us in this part of the question. So what we're asked to do then is to prepare a labour budget for the year ended 31st of October 2012. The budget should show the labour hours, the number of employees, and the annual labour costs for each department. So there's no sort of hard and fast way of laying this out, but I think if we're doing different departments, then it would make sense to put these 3 departments as column headings. We can't do them all in together because if you look here, the labour rates are all different. So we need to make sure that we've got the right staff in the right department at the right grade. That's the whole purpose of doing a labour budget. It's for planning. So it says for the year ended. Usually it'd be for the year ending. It'd be a future tense thing. So something that we work out in advance just to make sure we've got enough people in each of these departments to fulfill our planned level of output. Okay, so we're going to do 3 departments then: casting, polishing, and finishing. And then we're going to give them exactly what they've asked for here. It says we've got to show labour hours, the number of employees, and the annual labour costs. So we want labour hours, get that out of the way, labour hours, number of employees. I'm leaving myself a little bit of space to do some workings here. Number of employees in each department, and what was the other thing? And the annual labour costs. Okay, so very simply then, we've got 24,000 bracelet charms, and each one is going to take 40 minutes. So if we do 24,000 charms times 40 over 60, and let's just check that this isn't monthly output, it is annual production, so this is the annual output. So we're going to need 40 over 60, so 2/3 of 24,000. We're going to need 16,000 hours for the casting department. Okay, so was that one of the figures we needed? I think it was 16,000 hours. We can pop that in there. Do exactly the same for the polishing department. This one is 15 over 60, which obviously is 0.25 of an hour. So 24,000 times 15 over 60, or 0.25, is 6,000 hours. So let's stick that in there, 6,000 hours for the polishing department. And then the finishing department requires 2 hours at 24 times 24,000 charms. So that I don't even need a calculator. Look at that, bit of mental arithmetic there. 48,000 hours are needed in the finishing department. Okay, right, so the next stage then, it's asking us to work out how many employees we need. So we need to find out how many hours we're going to squeeze out of each of our employees. So they're working for 50 weeks a year. 50 weeks a year. Each employee works, 50 times 40 hours. So each employee is going to give us 2,000 hours per employee. So if we divide the labour hours divided by 2,000 hours per employee, that will actually tell us the number of employees. So 16,000 divided by, I don't know why I'm even doing this on my calculator, divided by 2,000 hours per employee means that we need 8 employees in that department. 6,000 hours divided by 2,000 hours per employee means that we need 3 employees in the polishing department. And then the finishing department, we need 24 employees there. So let's just label that up to make sure that it's clear. Okay, so the annual costs then, we need to work out, we'll go back to the hours for this one. So the annual cost is the labour hours times the hourly rate. Okay, now they are different for each department. So in the casting department, they're paid £12 an hour. So casting is going to be £12 per hour times 16,000 hours. So £12 times 16,000 is £192,000. Okay, the polishing department is £8 an hour. So we're doing 6,000 hours in there. 6 8s are 48, so that's going to cost us £48,000 for the year. And then the finishing department, obviously we've got 48,000 hours there. These are obviously the most highly skilled employees. They're £14 an hour. So in the finishing department, it's £14 times 48,000. So this is where our biggest cost is going to be. So 14 lots of 48,000 is £672,000. And let's just check that that's what we were asked to do. We haven't missed anything out. I asked us to prepare a labour budget, and the budget should show the labour hours. Yep, there's the labour hours. It should show the number of employees for each department there, and it should show us the annual labour costs for each department. We've not been asked to total it all up, but there we go. That is all there is to it. Not too difficult. If you were thinking about how they could extend this into other areas, they might ask you to consider, give you the current situation, and then you could look at, how many employees are currently in each of these departments, and come up with some ideas as to how this could be used to aid management in decision making. So things like making sure, as I said, there are enough employees in each department. If there are too few in certain departments but too many in other departments, maybe we could reallocate them, retrain them. We could recruit people. We could make people redundant as necessary. So hopefully that's helped. I'm sorry I can't remember the name of the person that asked for the labour budget, but do let me know if you've got any other requests. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.